What's up everybody, Alex here and welcome to this build guide for Dota Underlords Season 1. What we've got here is we've got the best build currently going in the early parts of the meta, and we have the Druids, Savages, and Summoners composition. There are actually two variants of this build. You're looking at the first one right now, and the second one, which is the one we're going to start with today, is the Troll and Summoner variant. It utilizes the ability to basically increase the DPS of your summons with the Troll attack speed bonus, and of course with the damage bonus from the summoners. They are going to be doing a ton of damage. Let's get started with how you work in the early game. Alright guys, in the early game, the Troll and Summoner strategy looks something like this. I do recommend going support and Essex, support healing and Essex. The reason for this is because the Golem will actually benefit from the Summoner's bonus. That's going to give him like over 100 damage per swing extra, and he swings pretty damn fast. It's a huge benefit to run an Essex. You can also go Joel if you're lacking the Omni Knight up front, or you can also go Enno, who's fantastic as well. I would avoid Hobgoblin in this build. You're running the two knights here in synchronous with one another because they're going to benefit from the damage reduction. You want them placed up front so that the Omni Knight can tank most of the damage. He's got a lot of health and he's got 10 armor. It makes a big difference there. You got Lycan up front. He's a melee unit. He's going to be used to protect an Essex. Ideally, you don't want him taking too much damage up front, but unfortunately, this early in the game, it's something that you have to kind of run with. The focus here is to get to 4 summoners if possible. That is ideally what you want. In fact, if you do pull the tier 3 Shadow Shaman early, you're going to put him in for the Bat Rider. You're going to get the 4 summoner bonus. You're going to restrict the ability to have knights and trolls, but the 4 summoners early in the game are much more impactful at this point. Once you get to level 6, right, what you're going to do is you're going to put the Bat Rider back in, and you're going to put him in position behind the Omni Knight, because again, the knights have to be within 1 cell of each other. What I would actually do, that is hot, thank you. At that point as well, what you can do is you can actually go in, if you go to rank 7, you're going to be putting in Dazzle because you're going to be getting the healing bonus. What I would suggest you do is having Dazzle on the edge here, because Dazzle, if he takes a little bit of damage, he's going to proc his heal a little faster, right? Finally, Witch Doctor would be the next one in. What I would actually do is you'd be hoping to get like someone to replace Venomancer in, because if you put Witch Doctor in, unfortunately you're going to be in a position where you're dropping your Summoner bonus. If you feel that the Troll bonus is worth it, then by all means go for it. But ideally, you want to take out Venomancer and you want to put in someone like Lone Druid when the opportunity arises. Now in the mid game, your lineup's going to look something like this. You're going to have your Knights up front again tanking. You're going to have Lycan protecting your Essex. An Essex is Archer's going to be spawned right there in that corner there. What you're going to have here is you have your Dazzle on the edge in order to kind of proc the healing earlier with anybody that comes in along the edge. You have Shadow Shaman at the far end there, and you have your Witch Doctor back here. Now, the key thing is a Lone Druid. Lone Druid is so vital to this strategy. You're seeing Venomancer's gone, Lone Druid's in. Lone Druid's going to get the benefit of having the star bonus. It's very likely that you're going to have Nature's Prophet at 2 stars because he's a relatively common unit. Lone Druid, however, is going to be a lot harder to get to 2 stars because he's a tier 4 unit. The result of that is you're going to take advantage of the Druid bonus and get that free star over to Lone Druid almost the entire game. If you get both to 2 stars, and that's absolutely fantastic, so you'll be guaranteeing a 3-star unit. If you can get to Nature's Prophet 3-star, which is unlikely because of how contested summoners are, you basically guarantee both to 3 stars. I'm including the Refresher Orb here because it is absolutely mandatory on the Lone Druid. His Spirit Bearers, having 2 of them on the field, both with the Summoner bonus, is too much to pass up. You want to be re-rolling for the Refresher Orb. You need to be aggressive searching for that Refresher Orb. It is vital to the strategy. Alright, so now we're in the late game for the Trolls and Summoner strategy. Now, ideally, you want to go Troll Warlord, and you want him to go in for Witch Doctor, okay? That's kind of the ideal switch at 8 units. If you're going to go with a 9th unit, I would recommend Medusa with Caden. Now, what I would do is I would actually do something like this. Hold on here. Hold on here. That's the setup you want. You still want the knights together. Now, Caden's Blade here, what it's going to do, somehow it thinks I have 2 Medusas out here. Caden's Blade, it's going to take the regular damage that Medusa's doing, and it's going to just do 7%, max health pure damage. But remember, she splits her shots. So she's doubling that. She's hitting 2 units for 7% of her health. So it's absolutely incredible. It's an incredible item. I also recommend it on Troll Warlord. If you can get it on Troll Warlord, put it on him too. Even at 1 star, because of his attack speed ramp up with his Fervor, it's going to do a ton of damage. Honestly, Caden's Blade is absolutely ridiculous. Horn of the Alpha is a great item. Get Horn of the Alpha out there because Horn of the Alpha is an item that not only summons a powerful beast, but that beast is going to benefit from, hey, look at that, the Summoner Alliance, which is totally OP right now. Special call out to Stormhall Pike. Now, Stormhall Pike, I'm putting it on the like in here. Pike currently is broken. It's probably going to get patched, so just a note for that. Pike currently gets a kill for every single summoner killed. So, if, for instance, a summon, like any summon unit, if Lycan kills it, or any unit with the Stonehall Pike, it counts as a full kill for Stonehall Pike. It's actually kind of broken. It should get a reduced value, but hey, that's where we are right now as I post this video. Now, the Arcane Boots are key too. Now, you're going to want to position the Arcane Boots to obviously have maximum effect within 2 cells there, but what you want to make sure you do is it allows you to get your summons out a little earlier. You can also go Sand King as well. If you go to 10th, he's a good 9th or 10th unit as well. You're not going to complete Savages in this variant of the build. Sand King comes in later on the next build that I'm going to break down for you. But overall, this is what you're looking at here. This is the ideal 9 unit build here. It is fantastic and is one that I highly suggest. Alright, and now we're off to the second variant of the Summoners build, which is the Savages, Druids, and Summoners composition. This is your 5 unit early opening of this build. What you want is you want Bristleback on the edge here. You can even shift them over one more if you wish. I do like them a little more centralized, and I'll explain why in a second. Bristleback has 10 armor. He has Quill Spray, which is a physical damage ability. You want them more or less centered because of Treant Protector's Leech Seed. Now, Leech Seed heals units within 1 cell of him, so it's very important that you don't get baited to moving too far off. You want to maintain this block-based positioning as much as you can. I have Tusk here on the edge, as long with Lycan on the other side as well, and you have Nature's Prophet here as your primary summoner and druid. Because of the 2 druids, you're going to get the druid benefit of having one of them go up a star, which is key for the early game. Bristleback is relatively common. Brawnies are absolutely unbelievable right now as well. Build guide coming on them soon. And what you're going to do is you're going to run healing, support, and Essex again for the golem use. Now, if you get to 6, I do recommend that you actually add in Magnus. Magnus is going to give you the Savage bonus, which is going to give all allied heroes the Savage bonus, which is an additional 8 damage per attack. That's key. He also protects your Essex by doing a self-cast of his Empower. He's going to remain in position while enemy assassins or anyone jumping will jump on top of him. I know you're going to be baited into getting that Shadow Shaman out there, but he does not improve your summoner bonus. His skill is pretty good, but I think that Magnus has a bigger impact on the game. You only have 6 units. Now all your heroes are going to have the Savage bonus, so Magnus is the one to go in at level 6. Alright guys, this is what the mid-game build looks like. Basically what you got here is you have your Shadow Shaman in on the edge here, and of course you've completed your summoner bonus because you've added Lone Druid as well. With Lone Druid in there with the mandatory Refresher Orb, you have to be re-rolling for Refresher Orb, guys. You want those 2 bears. You're going to be positioning them like this. You want to make sure an Essex is protected. The Archer is going to spawn in either one of those spots. But the key thing with an Essex, one of the common mistakes made by new players is that she gets killed before she drops her Demonic Golem. You want that Golem because he's going to be doing a ton of damage with the 40% bonus, right? So it is very important that you make sure an Essex is protected, and you do that with Magnus because the Empower ability protects her because he's going to stay in place, and so do these units here. No one's going to be poking at an Essex with these units in place here. That's what makes this strategy so effective. You ensure that Golem gets off there. Now let's talk about the late game variations. Alright guys, here's the late game variation of this exact same build. You're going to get there because, hey, this build's awesome. You're going to be finding yourself in a lot of late game matches. So basically what you've done here is you've finished the Savage bonus, which is key. All allied units, including all summons and all heroes, are going to be getting the bonus. That is accomplished by Sand King, who is added late. Now, the ideal, so that is with 9, of course. The ideal 10th unit is Troll Warlord. The reason for that is you're going to get the little speed buff there, and also he's going to be benefiting from the Savage bonus. And if you get something like Mask of Magnus for Troll Warlord, it is fantastic because he has his passive ability. Also, once again, Caden's Blade is fantastic on the Troll Warlord as well. In terms of items, you want to go for something like the Arcane Boots. It helps to get your castle early. I do recommend Blade Mail. Blade Mail on either... come on, why wasn't it let me select it? There we go. So you can get Blade Mail on either the Treant Protector or on Bristleback. On Bristleback, though, what I really like to do is I really like to put on the Octarine because it reduces his cooldowns, which means that as he's taking damage every 2 seconds, he's going to be cool spraying, which stacks. So it's a huge DPS buff if you get the Octarine for Bristleback. Very underrated item. Again, Stonehold Pike currently broken and taking down summons. Refresh Orb absolutely mandatory on the Lone Druid, and you have the Horn of the Alpha, which is going to be bringing the Thunderhide champion, which is going to benefit from the summoner bonus. So that is absolutely key. And once again, Magnus being positioned in a way you can protect your Troll Warrior if you want. You can protect the Nat 6. I like him right about there. We go wide here because the Lone Druid is really tanky, but realistically, you want his 2 bears out there. Those are the key value. If he goes down, it's no problem. And Sand King, if he takes a little bit of damage, he's just going to Burrow Strike out of the way anyways. He'll be A-okay. But guys, I hope you guys found this build helpful. These builds are absolutely fantastic. They're currently the top builds in the current meta in Season 1. I hope this guide helped you. Take care, everyone, and have yourselves an absolutely wonderful day.